You don't break on me. You don't break on me, you little pig piece of crap. You listen up right now. Last night I showed you, all the whole world, and the Club of the Man 1993 that you do not mess with the internet. So I made a statement last night. I interfered with the Club of the Man 1993's internet. I ruined his take for SmackDown Live. I ruined his chance of seeing anyone in the live chat. And I did it all, and I shut off his internet afterwards. Because my name is the internet, and I am the real The Club of the Man, and no one messes with my internet. That was a little bit cheesy there. I was trying to reenact the ending to SmackDown last night with Samoa Joe making a statement and Randy Orton taking him down with the RKO, because that was something about last night. Guys, I apologize deeply about last night. I don't know what happened. For some reason, my live streams were not allowing me to view my live chat. And then it kept saying, my video feed was unavailable whenever I was even trying to watch a video in general. So then I finished the SmackDown review. I tried reinstalling the Google Hangouts plugin, and it seemed to work. I did a little test video, but the test video was not going away on my videos, my uploads. But my SmackDown review wasn't showing up, and it said it was deleted. So then out of the blue, like shortly afterwards, my internet crashed. So I don't know if it was like a networking issue or what, because I was trying to view this from my phone, my Mac, which is the computer I use to record these, or even my Lenovo, my other computer, for my gaming computer I have. So it must have been a network issue or something like that. So I don't know what happened, but I'm going to just start this review from scratch and just literally make up my SmackDown review. Following this will be my 205 live review as well. So hopefully, guys, that does not happen again. I don't know what happened, and because of that, I believe so. I have not done this yet. But you know what happens when you ruin my live stream? You know what happens when I can't find any ways of seeing anyone in my live chat, or the fact that I have to redo a live review? Well, the internet, if I haven't done so already, you just made the list. Oh, and also, because I've been dealing with this for a long time now, not knowing, how to get rid of system storage on my Mac, but I finally figured out today, so I found it being so hot, you all lose. It was because of my media cache files. So anyways, system storage, you also made the list. Almost knocked over my water bottle. Wow, that would not have been good. So yeah, that stuff is going on the list right now just because. So guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you. This is take number 2 for my live review from SmackDown Live, last night's edition that took place in Wichita, Kansas, the go-home show for the Royal Rumble this coming Sunday. Overall, I gotta say, it was not a bad show at all. I mean, I actually enjoyed it a little bit better than last week's show. But there was still a couple of things, maybe just two match. I got a match and two matches I technically was a little mad about. One, because I'm not really into the storyline. When I thought it was a weak finish. And then just one little nitpick about that Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles segment, which was very good, but one little complaint I have about that, though, which we will get to that when we get there. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty good go-home show for the most part. Got me excited for several matches. One match, of course, it was the main event, that I keep saying needs to be saved to WrestleMania, but feels like there's something even bigger coming for that. We'll have to wait and see what it is, but I'm pretty sure last night was not the last time we saw a match between Rey Mysterio and Andrade. Yeah, just Andrade now. Not Andrade Cien Almas. Hashtag bring back Cien Almas, because that was a unique name for him for sure. But yeah, guys, enough about that, though. Let's check the live chat that I wasn't able to see last night and see what we've got here. we've got hashtag rest in peace, Internet. Yes, Larry, Internet, you just made the list for sure because it gave me so many issues last night, and unfortunately, I have to, redo my review today, which I kind of hate when I have to do a review or something like that, because then it's my momentum and it is not as there because I've already talked about all this. I'm just repeating myself, blah blah blah. But I don't want to be like that. Fresh, got a good night's sleep, and I watched 205 Live this morning, so I'm going to do this, and I'll do 205 Live. But thank you for joining me, Larry. Good to see you, buddy. So let's get started with this review again. It said again overall, like I said, it was a pretty good go-ho show. Of course, my favorite part was when Daniel Bryan kind of told off the boss, if you know what I mean. But once again, I have a couple little nitpicks about this show, though. But again, nothing really too major, in my opinion. But we'll get to those later. So the show kicked off with the man herself, Becky Lynch, coming out, saying how it's good to be back in town, and she's got something to say. Wasn't too long ago, no one was paying attention to her. But now, all of a sudden, everyone has opinions on what the man should be doing. But as far as she's concerned, the only thing the man should be doing is main eventing WrestleMania and slapping the heads off of every single person in her way to get there. So, Roman Reigns is not around this year. I mean, yes, praying for him because I know Joe Aniwa is sick, but, there's no reason to have him main event WrestleMania again right now. In fact, unless it was the Shield triple threat, there really was no reason for Roman Reigns to main event for the 5th year in a row. But so it's time for something fresh, and that something fresh is the women main eventing WrestleMania 35, which I think will happen in a triple threat match. I still say with Ronda Rousey, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, which I keep saying that Becky Lynch's biggest win of Becky's career was at Evolution. I think this should be the biggest win of Becky's career as well, being, of course, the hottest thing in the active WWE right now for sure. And what would be a better way to make her for American State to be the first ever women to main event and win WrestleMania, which would be awesome. So they're already teasing it. That journey starts on 5 days at the Royal Rumble, and she's watched Asuka clean out NXT and steamroll her way here. And she's one of the best in the world, but Becky is better. Asuka never beat her for the title, and the fact that that's not eating her up tells her everything she needs to know, and all of the rest of the women have been warming themselves on the fire she lit. She's taken back her title, had already dethroned the queen, and ready to break the empress. She'll walk through hell and do whatever it takes. So kind of mentioning, some of a fact there. You in reality, you can think about with how, with how bad Asuka's booked ever since her first loss, WrestleMania 34. She won the title. Yes, it was a great match. I mean, all three women did great in that triple threat TLC match. But when you think about it, there could be some doubt, though, realistically, because Asuka technically didn't pin. She won because Ronda Rousey took out Becky and Charlotte by pushing them off the ladder. So Asuka kind of does have something to prove, and I think an opponent like Becky is the right way to go. Asuka's been booked better for the most part, I gotta say. She obviously, this is kind of a match where she needs to prove herself, which is why I feel like at this point she needs to win more than Becky for sure, because Becky needs to get to that Rumble match, which I will, talk about that in my Rumble predictions, either probably tomorrow I'll do. But Asuka came out. She gets in the ring, but before she can talk, Charlotte comes out also. She talks about the Rumble, how she's beaten Sasha more times than she can count, and beat the holy hell out of Ronda with Ken, which she's calling her kendo stick. And then there's Asuka, who Charlotte broke her undefeated streak, and Becky, the man who may have owned her the last few months, but let's get it straight. Charlotte has owned the division for 4 years, and she is the main event. So again, they're really teasing that main event. So of course, Charlotte just, laying down the fire, trying to, heat something up between those two as well, as Charlotte is getting, in the Rumble match, of course, as she's gunning for, one of them as well. But then Asuka, let me double check something. One second. I thought I heard something on my street. Sure. Okay, we're good. Asuka, though, has had enough. Enough talking. She wants to fight and just prove once and for all that, she belongs where she needs to be. So she literally just snaps and she attacks Becky and they brawl. And, Charlotte just walks away, just, laughing that she pretty much, lit a fire and started up a brawl between these two ladies. Of course, everybody's trying to break them apart, but then Becky does. Becky throws Asuka over the announce table. I think she starts like slapping her with the jacket she was wearing also. And then even backstage, they continue the brawl as well. And everyone's trying to pull them apart. It's just, you just couldn't get these two apart, and honestly, this was great. Becky was straight to the point, what her goal was in mind. Asuka, had the feel of like, you may have won the championship, but, can you really beat me when it comes to this one-on-one action and whatnot? Charlotte, just teasing the fact that, she's a favorite to win the Rumble, of course. But here's what I think should happen. Asuka and Becky should kick off the show. Well, the main show, of course. Because they announced on the show also that the U.S. title match, which I don't care about, is on the pre-show. And unfortunately, the Cruiserweight Championship match is also on the pre-show. That Fatal 4-Way, that's two pre-show matches. So the best match I feel that should open up this show of the Rumble on Sunday for sure is Becky and Asuka. Because, better believe it or not, I'm starting to suspect the women are going to main event again. The women's Rumble is going to main event again. Because I really still think somehow, and I'm going to explain how that could happen, I think Becky is somehow going to get in that Rumble match. I really think she is. And I can't see the storyline with Charlotte or Becky being passed up with Ronda. So I still, to this day, think there will be dual winners of the Women's Royal Rumble, and they'll both be facing Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, of course, Ronda is facing Sasha Banks. So I don't expect Sasha to win, but don't be surprised if Charlotte and Becky try to, dethrone Ronda and kind of start teasing that 4 Horsewoman match. Which, of course, we'll talk about that more in my Royal Rumble predictions. But a great brawl, a great promo to start off SmackDown on a high note. It gave me definitely a hype Women's Championship matchup for sure. We then have Naomi and Mandy Rose finally having the match that's been teased for quite a while, but these whole, seductive segments involving Mandy Rose, which, tickle my peach big time, if you know what I mean. Although I will say Naomi, I love you, Naomi, but I'm not going to put you on the list for this, but you can't interrupt one of the best entrances. Yes, she did the right thing, going after Mandy Rose, being just sick of, all the stuff that Mandy's been bullying her about in several weeks, even it leads to that hotel room brawl last week, even though that segment was still a little cheesy and whatnot, but it did its job for the most part. Also, we got to see Mandy Rose in a black lingerie. But anyways, getting off track there. Naomi pretty much starts brawling with Mandy while Mandy's making her entrance. And the match was what it was. I didn't expect this to be like a 5-star classic. I knew this could be probably like an average to decent match at most. The thing that bothered me though was the finish. Let's be real. Mandy needed to swim more than Naomi. Mandy, just to give Mandy some momentum going. But I wasn't a fan of how she won this match. She won this match by, yes, Sonya distracted Naomi on the apron. Sonya distracted Naomi. Yeah, Sonya distracted Naomi on the apron. All Mandy did was do a face buster on Naomi into the steel post and pulled her into the ring to pin her for the victory. Like that, to me, that was just kind of like a really weak finish. I can't remember if she's done it since then enough. I remember when Sonya and Mandy made their main roster debut as Absolution back in November 2017. And I swore Mandy did some what was it, like Angel's Wings or something like that finisher or something. I forgot what exactly it was called. But it looked like Beth Phoenix's Glam Slam. When I saw them, like that's not a bad idea, bad move to have for a finisher, I thought. So you could have done the face buster into the post, like a stun move, but then you could have hit that finisher on Naomi for the win. but just having her hit the face buster for it, that kind of took me out a little bit. I mean, yes, I felt Mandy winning was the right move there. Obviously, it feels like, the issues between them are not over. Or like Naomi will get her comeuppance maybe by eliminating Mandy from the Rumble on Sunday. Maybe, who knows? But I just wasn't a fan of that finish. But right person won, but that finish I felt could have been better. So whatever, was what it was. Mandy Rose wins. Afterwards, Jimmy Uso comes out to comfort his wife. We have Rey Mysterio talking about his 2006 Rumble victory and what allowed him to do it before pledging that he's going to do it again this Sunday. But first, he's got business to take care of with Andrade in a 2 out of 3 falls matches. And last week, he was gaining the respect for Andrade until Zelina Vega interfered in the match, and he won the match with a dirty heel tactic. So that's why you're getting ready for a 2 out of 3 falls match later on tonight. And Zelina Vega is banned from ringside. So we'll get to that in a little bit. Then we have, we have this. Like, again, I wasn't a fan of the finish, and I'm just really not a fan of this whole thing, this whole crap in general. Cesaro took on The Miz. Obviously, just a match, hyping up their tag title match with the Bar taking on Shane and The Miz on Sunday, and I just did not care. I just, I love Cesaro. Sheamus, Sheamus I'm fine with. This whole thing with I keep saying last week, I even said too, last week was one week I was just like, I'm just done with this storyline. I don't like this storyline. I don't like this thing with Shane and The Miz, because it's just going to lead to The Miz turning on Shane eventually, and it's going to lead to a match between Shane McMahon and The Miz at WrestleMania, which I don't like, because as I keep saying, even though this heel run for Daniel Bryan has been good for him so far, it still kind of threw off plans for The Miz. I really think The Miz should have been the one to dethrone AJ Styles. And Daniel Bryan was eventually going to, beat The Miz. It would have, given their feud something else to do, and lead to a match at WrestleMania. Now it's just like, yeah, Bryan's doing great stuff as a heel, but I just feel like it's still elevating The Miz back down. Like, he should be in the main event right now. And then, again, Shane McMahon, I don't mind this guy, but why does he have to always be in a Mania match? Like he just, I mean, I'm not saying he's not that special, but it's just, he's never just, amazed me that much that I need to see him every year at WrestleMania. I mean, he faced The Undertaker when he first came back, which that storyline was weird. The year afterwards, it was Shane McMahon taking on AJ Styles. I was just to give AJ Styles a spot on the card, which, okay, but he deserved better than facing Shane McMahon. Last year, I'll give it to him because it worked the storyline with, Daniel Bryan making his return to the ring, whatnot. But now The Miz, I don't care. I just do not care. I mean, Cesaro won this match, but afterwards, Shane tried to blindside Sheamus, and he tried to do the same thing to Cesaro, and he tried to, he was getting ready to hit that, flying elbow drop onto the announce table from the ring post, but then Sheamus got in and pushed him off of the ring post, and Shane hit into the barricade, and then they take out The Miz, and then they bro kick Shane's head off, and it looked like, this is weird, The Miz was like hovering over Shane, like trying to save him, which is weird, but then they beat him down. They placed The Miz on the announce table, then they picked up Shane, and then they powerbombed Shane on top of that. This is a nice spot. They powerbombed Shane like high in the air into The Miz, to break the announce table. So that was a fun spot there, but I just don't care about this. Like, I really do not give a crap about this whole Shane and Miz stuff anymore. Like, it was funny at first, but now I was like, okay, this is just stupid. And then again, I just feel like it's bringing The Miz back down for me again. So not a fan of this. So whatever. We had a video package about what happened last week with Mustafa Ali and Samoa Joe. They're supposed to have their match last week, but then Joe just beat the holy hell out of Mustafa Ali, and the match never happens. Just Joe making his statements, just teasing that Joe's a favorite to win the Rumble, which he's not going to win the Rumble, but him being teased as a favorite, I think, is good. It works great for him. But we're going to get, the match between him and Joe later on tonight. We then have, this next segment with AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan face-to-face was not too bad. But the one beef I have to say about it is, why was Vince there? Again, as I keep saying, this whole thing with the McMahons, take it over. We're going to make things better again for you guys. It's just like, one, didn't even be the case on SmackDown. And now with just him, Vince just showing up, it feels like Vince is someone I can't even stand to see on my TV, because him just being there just feels absolutely pointless. Other than the fact that Daniel Bryan told off the boss in this segment, I didn't understand why Vince had to be there. Like, they could have had Bryan and Styles be up there, and Bryan refusing to get in the ring and whatnot, and just have Styles call Daniel Bryan for one last time before their match this Sunday, and that would work. We didn't have to have freaking Vince out there. Again, it's just driving me nuts that it started to feel like they're just making things about them and hogging the spotlight again, and it's making me a point where I don't even want Vince on the TV. And also, people freaking cheered the man again. Again, guys, we're ticked off at this guy. We're not happy with what he's been doing with this show creatively. So why is when he shows up, you cheer for him? But Daniel Bryan laid that out. Let me tell you that. So Vince comes out saying that he made a comment on what just happened with Shane and The Miz, but they're going to have a hell of a match on Sunday. He's like, I want to comment on it, but they're going to have a great match Sunday. Like, that's all I can say. Once again, still care about the match. Like that tag title match is going to be like the cool down match from whichever Rumble match comes first. Like, that's going to be a match like after the first, like the men's Rumble match, and then it'll probably be the SmackDown tag title match, because that's a match that no one really cares about. That's the weakest match on the main card for sure. So then, he brings us to this whole face-to-face confrontation. AJ Styles came out. Then out came Daniel Bryan, who, once again, if I may go on a small rant again, they need to change his theme and his Titantron. What happened to, these video packages for like entrances? Like, that was just, just a graphic showed up, which, okay, some of them are not too bad. Like, AJ Styles, at least, though, has this whole I am phenomenal thing flashing, and he even has, like, him doing the hand thing, like, appearing also, which, okay, that's acceptable. Daniel Bryan, before he turned heel, his was have his little yes chant going, and it's saying yes is back or on it. So, you know what? That was fine, too. Now, as a heel, you just have Daniel Bryan written in just, a basic, font with a blue background. And then down on, like, the sides also of the stage also, it has DB, like, intertwined together like it's the San Diego Padres logo. To me, that's just super lazy, in my opinion. You literally, like, okay, as a person with a media arts degree, they say that, sometimes the simplest things is art. I get that. But that just looks simple as in lazy. There's nothing to it. The theme song, feels like a hero's coming. Like, it doesn't feel like some psychopathic, environmentalist is coming out. Like, the theme song, again, I'm sorry. As long as he's a heel, that theme needs to change. If you make him a babyface again, which I feel they will do by the end of this year, you can bring that back. But again, the theme and the Tron needs to change. It just looks lazy. It makes his appearance look plain. And yes, on the microphone in the ring, that all changes. But that entrance just makes it just looks like a ripoff, in my opinion. If Vince McMahon did not like Seth Rollins' curb stomp move as champion, how does he expect us to like a plain entrance for Daniel Bryan like that? So they didn't fix that, but end rant there. So Bryan comes out, but he takes his time walking around the ring. He doesn't get in the ring though. Vince tells him to get in, but Bryan says he's not falling for this trap. He refuses to step in the ring with a sociopath, a man who slammed into a bunch of processed animal carcasses in the concourse, which last week when Styles powerbombed Bryan into that table full of free hot dogs. He's too embarrassed to step in the ring right now after he pandered to the people. He had a vision of AJ Styles as champion in the future. Ignorant, impotent, illiterate, that he can't allow to happen. Styles uses his power to get fame and money, but Bryan uses his power for the greater good. Styles asks if the greater good is Bryan talking like a jackass, which gets a nice pop from the crowd. Bryan says that the people want AJ to be champ because he makes them laugh, cheer, and jump out of their seats. But he never once makes them think or feel guilty or feel bad about themselves. Bryan doesn't care about their feelings because he's not the people's champion, but he is the planet's champion, which I like that phrase. It just fits this whole idea with him being the environmentalist, and whatnot. And that's just his route of insulting people, which, again, has really worked for him as a heel, I think, and his promos as well. The Planet doesn't need AJ Styles, but it does need him using his platform to be its voice. Styles says if the Planet had a voice, it'd be screaming at Bryan to shut up. And he doesn't remember him pedaling his bicycle to the arena, kind of like, firing him back, saying, oh, you're claiming you're some type of environmentalist that, you can, save people from, the dangers of this Planet. Well, then why are you still, riding the bus and flying the same airplane as the rest of us here? He says there's a word for that, and the crowd starts chanting, which I think if this was the right way to have the baby face of this feud put over the word that obviously has become a big hit and Daniel Bryan's new word. But Styles is and that's fickle. And the crowd starts chanting fickle, and Bryan's like, no, stop, what not? Pretty much how Styles turned the tables on Bryan. They're kind of like how John Cena turned the tables on The Miz before their match at WrestleMania with Maurice and Nikki Bella, of course. Just kind of saying, hey, you're complaining about all of us, then why are you also riding the airplanes and not taking a bicycle here and whatnot? I like that little truth he laid there. But he also says that Bryan claims that he is embarrassed, but the truth is Bryan's not embarrassed. Bryan's afraid. Styles has seen that look of fear on their faces from many of the opponents, and he says that Bryan's afraid of what will happen in 5 days, as he should be. He's corrupted his morals for the WWE Championship. But what happens when that gets taken away? What will he have left? Nothing. Well, as New Day would say. But Bryan says he's about to quote the great Carl Sagan. But then Vince cuts him off and is like, damn it, just get in the ring. Once again, just saying something just because he's there. But then this is my favorite part of the segment. Bryan says, Vince, of course you don't want to hear it because he and the entire baby boomer generation are the great parasites of this world. These people don't realize he and his generation take and give nothing back, putting profit over the planet's needs, and they bow to him for it. It's like a magic trick when they conceal all the debt they create and leave the people happy trading social media stuff while they hoard the wealth and power, and distracted people ignore it. Flat out saying what I keep saying about, Vince McMahon just taking all the money, pretty much being, blood money whores and whatnot that WWE seems to be these days, just ask Crown Jewel, whatnot. And it's true. We complain about all this, but yet, once again, when Vince comes out, we still bow down to him where he's His Royal Highness. I love that spot there. Bryan, even though he's the heel, laid in the truth. Flat out calling all these people fickle, which I loved it. He continues to say that an environment for AJ Styles that was created by Vince to become a hero, where his brand of ignorance, and then Vince cuts him off again and tells him, well, get Derek in the ring. But then Bryan did budge. Styles that says if he wants a face-to-face, doesn't necessarily have to be in the ring. Then AJ heads out to attack. I mean, I didn't like how Bryan tried to run away, but we got a nice brawl and got it back into the ring, and then Styles go for the phenomenal forearm, and then Bryan, hides behind Vince, and then like throws off Styles with his doing his jump to the phenomenal forearm. I thought at first he was going to literally phenomenal forearm Vince in the face, which would have been awesome, but then Brian like sneaks around and does a running knee, and that's how the segment ends. So again, like other than Brian's Tron rant and his Vince being out there for no reason at all, even the only reason why he was out there was for Brian to tell him off, which was pretty cool. The segment was still pretty good. I still wish this match would have had a stipulation to it. I mean, yes, I get, AJ Styles re-earned a title shot by beating 4 other people in a fatal 5-way. But let's face it, this match needed a stipulation. I mean, I think it could still be a really good match for sure on Sunday. But it could have used a stipulation, like no DQ or no holds barred, like something. It doesn't have to be anything, that astronomical, or 2 out of 3 falls, maybe. I don't know, but it could have used a stipulation. But that was a nice segment there. Check the live chat, see if we got anything else. Let's see here. We got Larry's the live chat saying, if they gave us Almas versus Mysterio every week now, I don't want to see them in the ring at WrestleMania. As good as they are, but they already killed them. No hype for anything anymore, which is true. Having this match, but yeah, they had the match, but I gotta say, take a break from having a match for a while. But again, they need to save a bigger match for WrestleMania for sure. Like if this 2 out of 3 falls match had an inconclusive finish, then they really need to save for WrestleMania, but don't give us them every single week. Yes, you can give them like here and there, having like a little series of matches, but don't absolutely kill them. I do agree with that, Larry. Can Becky get any more badass? Not too sure. He's hyped for TakeOver than the Rumble, but the real hype for the 2 Rumble matches is real. I agree for sure. So you think you say Asuka and Becky will open a show? I think so, because then Becky will also make her way into the Rumble match later on. And yes, Mandy. Roy's raised his eyebrows in the Royal Rumble video for you, Mike. Oh, I gotta still check out your women's Rumble predictions for sure. When Mandy comes out, I gotta check that out still, Larry, but I will for sure. By the way, I will never stop saying Andrade, Cien, Almas screwed up with me for sure. Again, he's still Andrade, Cien, Almas. Like whenever I do my match card predictions and Almas is in there, I'm still putting in Andrade, Cien, Almas, not just Andrade. It's absolutely stupid. I hate it. But Miz is a joke now. Feels like it. Vince is dead. It was just a shell standing there. Exactly. Brian is an absolute legend right now. Godlike levels of heel. Again, I agree. I mean, I still feel that, Brian will, by the end of this year, I say like maybe like Survivor Series, turn back to be a babyface because he's just too charismatic to hate for this song. I mean, yes, he's getting the heat right now, but I feel, a year I feel is going to be the most he's going to be able to get. Because honestly, here's a feud I would love to see heel Daniel Bryan have. Because obviously, Johnny Gargano is turning face. It's going to be face again later on. Again, even though he's full-fledged heel, some could say, but I still say he's full-fledged, but he's on that dark side now. But I'd say when Johnny comes to the main roster, before Daniel Bryan turns back to being a babyface again, him and Johnny had to have a feud. Even if that's the match at a SummerSlam match with Daniel Bryan and Johnny Gargano, that has to happen, I still feel. I don't think they should change his theme, just his opinion. No worries about that. No worries, Larry. That's how you feel. I mean, I just don't feel because I feel like a hero still coming out here and hear the theme. But if they want to keep fighting the Wargames, like spice it up a little bit, like something that make it sound like like a big hero's coming out. Like I don't know. It's just my opinion, but that's how you feel, Larry. No worries, man. We got Tequila Garzone. What's up? Saying, yo, homie, what's up? Come to LA to see my lowrider, homie. Again, any reference there for sure. Ryback's voice. Stupid. Yeah, again, the only reason why I still was ever really a big fan of Ryback because of his phrase, feed me more. And that's me right there, because this belly needs food all the time. But we have Larry saying also that hell yeah, Brian versus Gargano, take his money. And And we have a guy named Vince Russo here saying SmackDown Live is gay. Yeah, someone here is called named Vince Russo, of course, the former WWE brand. And actually, funny thing in real life, I went to college with a guy named Vince Russo. He's a friend of mine. His name was Vince Russo, but not the same Vince Russo who wrote WWE also. But that's your opinion, Vince. Okay, but thank you for joining us in the live chat. But yeah, let's get back to the review. You're here. So backstage, we did see R-Truth and Carmella walking around. Truth talks about his plans to win the Rumble and challenge for the WWE title. But then Carmella says, well, what about, you can also challenge for the Universal title and face Brock. And he's like, well, I don't want to face Brock. I don't want to go to Sioux Falls City. Shayna Baszler's hometown, by the way. He'd rather challenge Bobby Murphy for the Cruiserweight Championship. Instead of Buddy Murphy, it was Bobby Murphy. But then Carmella points out that there's a weight limit. Truth's like, you think I'm fat? And he just storms off. But then Carmella runs into Charlotte. And Carmella takes offense to Charlotte talking about her winning the Women's Rumble. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Carmella said she's going to be number 30, the gatekeeper for the Women's Royal Rumble. But she also mentioned to say how Charlotte once again feels that she gets handed everything as always, which more and more people are saying that now. Besides Becky Lynch, which I like because it's them rolling with the crowd's reactions. But here's the thing: sometimes it gets to a point where it's like it feels like WWE is like pushing, WWE doesn't likes to push, but they don't like when we push back. And I feel like WWE is actually kind of just somewhere I feel like the crowd is they're like rolling with the crowd, but they're not like pushing it on us. Like, yeah, see what we're doing here, see what we're doing here. But no, they're having a couple different people now pointing out how how we feel. Charlotte gets handed a lot of opportunities, which she deserves. She deserves to be in her position. But once again, she's actually being pushed as in the right direction, with the right the right persona we're supposed to think of her as she has definitely embraced more of that heel side right now, definitely for sure. She is pretty much a heel again, as I feel. But Carmella says that she's going to win the Rumble, and Charlotte says she's confident that she's going to win and whatnot. So just teasing that there. So then we have Mustafa Ali taking on Samoa Joe, which was not a bad match. Joe won. Joe won, getting Ali to tap out. Again, kind of teasing that Joe's kind of a favorite to win, even though he's probably not going to win, but he's definitely, a favorite. Probably maybe into the final six, final five, maybe even final four. Who knows? We'll talk about that when we get to my Rumble predictions tomorrow. But here's the problem I had with this though. So last week, Joe came out and practically almost killed Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali, though, came out his normal entrance, and even when the match started, he didn't really quite try to, he didn't try to go I feel like he was trying to get his full comeuppance on Joe. Like, why did Ali make his entrance from the crowd and have a pre-match beat down on Joe or something like that? Or even if Ali would come out, the referees would be holding him back, and as soon as the bell rang, they're both there trying to kill each other. They just had this big flat out fight. They put pretty much just a regular wrestling match. Last week did happen, which kind of took me out a little bit, but the match was still solid between them. Again, Joe gets that's just a little nitpick right there, but Joe gets Ali to tap out to the Wichita clutch. And afterwards, we see all of us backstage warming up. Then we have the New Day watching tapes of the Rumbles in the past. When they're asked, I think it was Caleb Braxton asked if they'll eliminate each other, which Xavier Woods says every year someone else asks them the question, whether it's her or Mike Rome or Renee Young. Don't tell me Tony Chimel is going to come in next and ask them the same question. And then we see Tony Chimel come in about to ask them that, and they're like, stop. They shoot him off and tell him Edge isn't here, so he can go home. And he continues saying that they know that if one of them wins the Rumble, they all win the Rumble. Big E says they're going to dog walk everyone in the Rumble, where Kofi all of a sudden looks really down, wondering, he says, if this year, if he doesn't have a crazy, invasion to help him, be saved from getting eliminated like he usually does. But then Ian Woods lift his chin manually and give him this pretty much just, a smile, give it. He's like, I got an idea. So obviously, we're going to see Kofi doing some type of crazy stunt again, probably this year to save himself a Rumble. Or an idea here, because let's face it again. I just keep saying, guys, I love New Day, but I feel it's time they take a break from each other. I mean, yes, they get back together maybe like a couple years or something like that, but I feel it's time to take a breather from this whole New Day stuff. Because again, it's just getting flat and repetitive at this point. And I still feel that Big E has a lot to offer as a single star. So here's what I'm going to pitch. What if Big E ruins on Sunday? What if Big E ruins Kofi's little saving moment from being late for the Rumble? Like, what if Big E ruins it? That is a simple way to turn Big E heel right there and to split up the New Day briefly. Just my opinion, though, but of course we'll talk about that more in my Rumble predictions. We'll do those tomorrow, as I will, map out my prediction for the entire Rumble match for sure. So then we have our main event. It was Andrade Cien Almas, or just Andrade now, but it's Andrade taking on Rey Mysterio in a match I probably shouldn't say WrestleMania, but it did have a conclusive finish. So my opinion is they have something bigger for them. But once again, like Larry said, don't keep doing this match over and over and over and over again, because by the time it gets to WrestleMania, it's not going to care about it. Yeah. Yes, you want to give them a series of matches. They can do a match like here and there or something like that, but don't overkill on it that when it comes to Mania, no one's going to care. The match was not bad. The first two falls that were kind of quick and abrupt, but the spots that they happened were awesome. The first fall happened with Almas or the first pinfall by hitting an avalanche power bomb off of the top rope to pretty much shatter Rey's back from the first fall. The second fall came when Mysterio hit a flip pile driver, which they do those a lot whenever they face each other. Get the second fall. So far, decent start, but then the third fall, the build to the third fall, I thought was great. We had a suicide dive to a sunset flip powerbomb into the barricade. We had a springboard hurricanrana. This part, though, I was not a fan of. Here's what kind of bothers me also sometimes. There was a powerbomb into the ring post, and then almost hit the hammerlock DDT. But Rey obviously was so close to the ropes. And I remember when I watched the 2018 Rumble for my recap and review for my retro review series, almost pulled a smart move where Kofi was about to get eliminated, but he noticed that the New Day could have just caught him again like they did before. So he throws out Kofi on the opposite side, showing he's kind of smart. This time, though, instead of pinning the leg and blocking off the arm closest to the ropes, he tries to pin Mysterio with the leg closest to him, making it so obvious that Mysterio was going to put his foot on the rope to, save him from being, from getting the third fall. Which I'm just like, I just hate when they do that. It's kind of stupid when they do that. It just kind of takes out for the match a little bit. But then we see him trying to hit a Fujiwara armbar, which that's Deonna Purrazzo's move there, by the way. Don't mess with my girl, Deonna Purrazzo. Rey tries to get out of it, but he couldn't escape from it at first. But then he then pops his hips and gets to his feet, and then eventually escapes. Has an electric chair. He snaps a poison Frankensteiner, springboard Frankensteiner. Then that sets up Almas for the 619. He hits a 619. He then goes for his little, splash to finish him off. Looks like he's about to win this match. But then out of nowhere comes Samoa Joe, and it's an apron powerbomb on Rey Mysterio. He then gets into the ring, also takes out Andrade as well. And then Rey gets back to the ring, but then Joe chokes out Rey with the coquina clutch. He gets on the microphone and says he told us he came here to make a statement. And what you see in the ring tonight is exactly what he'll do to the other 29 superstars in the Rumble. Man, because his name is Samoa Joe, but he gets cut off because the crowd starts cheering. I'm thinking, maybe it's Mustafa Ali coming out to get his revenge. I thought it was going to lead to like a big brawl between everyone on the SmackDown roster. At least that's in the Rumble match, and that's what's going to happen. But instead, all who came out was Randy Orton, who hasn't really been seen since his chairs match with Mysterio at TLC, which again was definitely a disappointing match. But he gets the RKO on Joe, and then he gets on top of the ropes doing his little pose. But he also put up number 3. And that's pretty much obviously saying that Randy Orton is attempting to become the second man in history to win his third Royal Rumble match. The only person who's done before is Stone Cold Steve Austin, which if they're going to do that, they should have had Orton on SmackDown more to always do like some backstage promos to tease that more. I don't know. I thought that that was they could have done more of that storyline as well for Orton, but so I don't know. I don't know if this is meant to have Orton turn face or whatnot. I don't know, or that's just him hitting an RKO out of nowhere. But again, I still want to see Orton as a heel as he should be. Like him just as a face against is bland, but he needs to stay heel. But I mean, if they want to have heel Joe and heel Orton at WrestleMania, that could work. But yeah, so that's how we finish off the show. So let's look at the polls on Twitter really quick. What grade would you give SmackDown this week? 18 votes for this. 61% said A, 22% said B, 6% said C. 11% said D or lower, and 4 votes for what show did you enjoy more, Raw or SmackDown Live. 25% said Raw, 75% said SmackDown Live. Gotta agree, they SmackDown a better show. And with even though a couple of nitpicks there, I gotta say that SmackDown's better show again. I'm gonna give the show a B for SmackDown this week. Let's check the live chat one more time and see what we got here. Let's see here. Vince says Gargano and Bryan are vanilla midgets. Ouch! Firing some shots there. Oh my goodness. Larry says, if you're the real Vince Russo, then I'm Lars Sullivan's son. Oh my goodness. I did not do my TakeOver Phoenix predictions yet. I'll do probably either very late. Well, probably I'll be doing both TakeOver and Rumble predictions tomorrow afternoon, I gotta say. He's working on a small video right now for TakeOver predictions. I'll check that out. No predictions video because I already have 2 more videos going on the channel, which is fine. And once again, yeah, who is Andrade? I agree. Oh, Cien Almas for sure. And that should be his name. Your girl Deanna. She's awesome. Oh yeah, she's awesome. She's beautiful, but she has a boyfriend. I saw on Instagram, and I'm like, oh well, never mind. Yeah, like I had a chance to get with a real life wrestler. Yeah, right. My dream for Paige is nowhere close, but you know what? Whatever. Anyways, let's see here. We need some good NXT superstars in the Women's Rumble, which we're probably not going to get as many surprises this year because I saw there's already 23 announced entrants for the Women's Rumble. So, which I kind of think is all right because like last year when I watched last year's Rumble, yeah, it was nice that it was the first Rumble. It had I think 10 or so surprise entrants or something like that, which was nice. But I feel like you can't do that every single year though, because let's face it, most of those women, all respect, they had great careers. Most of them though didn't last that long in the match. Like again, the longest that lasted was Michelle McCool lasting almost 10 minutes. So I feel yeah, you can have surprises, but you can't overload with surprises though, I feel, because if it's gonna be a lot of people who definitely can't produce as well as they used to, then it's gonna make the match kind of look a little flat, I feel. Yeah, Raw is definitely embarrassing. It sucked this past week. Hope you can enjoy one of the streams again. And yeah, she doesn't have a boyfriend. I know Deanna does, and I still think Mandy Rose is dating Tina Sabatelli also. So I'm screwed there. But I'm getting over carried away. Of course, I'm never gonna end up with one of them. But yeah. So just again, I'm going to do 205 live review next. After 5 minutes after I log off this, I'm glad I was able to get my internet issues fixed. I don't know what happened, but I'll do 205 review next. I will review UK and NXT probably later tonight, but I'm going to actually be going out to visit some friends tonight. So I'll have to catch UK and NXT when I get back. I'll review that tonight. those stuff tonight. Tomorrow, I am going to do my takeover and Rumble predictions. Maybe also my special live streams will be my top 10 Royal Rumble matches. If not, then I'll wait to do that on Friday. And then again, video game Let's Plays here and there still come. But Saturday, as of now, I'm watching TakeOver alone. So maybe I'm thinking about maybe doing live reactions for Johnny Gargano and Ricochet and Ciampa and Black. I may do live reactions for them as well. And my review, of course, of TakeOver Phoenix. And then Sunday, I'll be at Dan's watching the Rumble. So he'll probably have live reactions on his channel. So if you want to see any live reactions at all involving me, check out Dan's channel for sure. I'll do my Rumble review when I get home on Sunday night. And then, of course, back to the usual speed next week as well. As, of course, Sunday marks, again, usually the Rumble is about 70 days before WrestleMania. So that's 70 more days until I get to experience WrestleMania live in person, guys. Cannot wait. But yeah, guys, let's see here. Mike, you're awesome. Take care, my friend. If I don't join the 205 live chat, no worries, Larry. Good to see you again. I know you haven't been able to chat with you for a while, Larry, but definitely good, have you in the live chat as always. Again, I will, when I get the chance, check out my women's Rumble, your women's Rumble predictions as well. I'll watch it while I eat my lunch or something. But yeah, so thank you, Larry, for joining me in the live chat, and Vince Russo, even though I know you're not the real Vince Russo. So yeah, guys, I'll be back up here in a few minutes again for my 205 live review, guys. What grade do you have SmackDown Live? Your thoughts down in the comment section below. And make sure as always to click my like and subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93, guys. I'll see you in just a few minutes for my 205 live review. So until then, guys, peace out, everybody.